Real quick, just wanted to let everyone know I will be going live on Twitch at around 9 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. So that's the day this video is getting uploaded, the 17th, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to just watch some film, maybe take some suggestions on which film to watch. My current plan is to sort of do a deep dive on the Bills and Cardinals game and maybe also the Seahawks-Rams game. It's still up in the air, might change that. But yeah, if that's something you're interested in, love to see you there. And if not, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, let's talk some Justin Herbert. You know, he's someone who I've had a very roller coaster relationship with. So, at first, I didn't love him out of the draft, because, let's be honest, no one loved him out of the draft, but he's looked really good in the NFL, and I've been very pleasantly surprised with what I've seen of him. He's still not perfect, so I kind of want to make a video talking about the goods and the bad. Just to be clear, though, every rookie quarterback has plenty of bad, and just because I'm going to bring up some negative things does not mean that I think he's a bad quarterback, just that that's what he's going to have to work on if he's going to, you know, turn from a good rookie quarterback to just a good quarterback in general. And honestly, you could probably even make an argument that he already is just a good quarterback in general, but I digress. Let's just get into it. Let's start off with a positive. So this play, it's going to be a cover 3 zone blitz. So extra player rushing the passer, which is not a good thing for Herbert because honestly, this offensive line has been really not great. It's had some injuries, that's been part of it, but it's really been tough for Herbert. This concept, though, is good against this type of coverage. You have a receiver running a deep route, then you're going to have your tight end, Hunter Henry. He's going to run a route over the middle. This will probably get past the linebackers, so that's also going to be good because there's kind of a play action, although not really. It's kind of a weird situation that's going to happen, but that could get the linebackers to move in, and it is going to get the linebackers to move in, and then obviously, with the deep route, eventually Henry will get open. Once this play starts, you see that Henry is eventually getting open. It took a bit, but he is getting open, and now there's pressure coming because, again, yes, this is a kind of a long developing play, and Miami blitzed on this play, so it's just a little bit tougher for Herbert to try and make this throw. However, Herbert, while getting hit, is still able to get it off and make a really nice throw to pick up that play. He's done a great job at playing with this poor offensive line, which is promising. Now, of course, the most ideal situation would be if he could just play well with a good offensive line and sort of see how that works. But this offensive line's been really bad, and honestly, it's kind of teaching him some bad habits. Like on this one, this is a very interesting play. Really, from Miami's perspective, it's almost even more interesting, where it's a 3rd down and 3, and they're going to be playing a cover 0 here. So it's just one player is covering all of the Chargers, so, you know, man on man across the board. Everyone else is going to rush the passer, and because of this, they're playing a little bit far off, and because of that, a quick pass will mean that this can be a 1st down. It's only 3rd and 3. I actually don't really love this play call from Miami. I think this is a good situation for the Chargers pre-snap. It's also an easy read for Herbert to make. I mean, he can just look up and just, you know, he can count on his fingers, hey, there's 3 defensive backs there. I have 3 receivers there. I have another receiver to my right and 1 defensive back in that area. Everyone else is on the line. There's no safeties deep. This is almost certainly going to be a blitz, very possibly a cover 0 blitz, which it is. And since he doesn't trust his line that much, he is going to try and throw this ball as quick as possible. Watch, he takes a snap, and he's already in the throwing motion. Way early on this play, way earlier than I think a lot of other quarterbacks would be. He's in the throwing motion, he's trying to get it off, and he's even kind of backing up as he's doing it. I think he doesn't want to get hit here as well. He's trying to protect himself while at the same time making a very quick throw. He ends up missing a throw while his feet aren't planted. And honestly, that's something that drove me crazy about him in college, was I felt like he would oftentimes not have the proper footwork on a certain play. And I think this is part of why he didn't have the footwork on the play, is because he's worried about getting hit and he's trying to protect himself, which makes sense. It's a lost season. Don't hurt yourself. But at the same time, he didn't really have to in that situation, but he did anyways because he's so used to getting hit after 1 second. So that's a bit concerning, but something he can work on, and it's not a big deal. It would be a big deal if he's doing this in year 5. It's not a big deal of him doing it year 1. I gotta be honest, he's missed some easy throws. Like on this one, it's gonna be a screen pass, so these are easy. This is a easy play to make. You have three offensive linemen run out the lead block. You flip it over to your halfback. Not a difficult play. And while Denver defensive end does kind of get in the way, Herbert just overthrows it. And that's just something you don't want to see happen. And I'm not going to kill him for it, but at the same time, you have seen him miss some throws that he probably should have made. His accuracy, it's honestly just not the strong point of his game. I'm not saying it's bad. It's been a lot better in the NFL than I expected it to be. It really is. But it's still, he's not Drew Brees, and no one's going to think he is. That's just not his game. He has missed some easy throws. So that seems to me, I've seen enough missed throws at this point that I'm willing to consider it a flaw. I'm not going to talk about it as like this huge flaw, but he's missed some throws. He has. And I think I should be very clear in exactly what I mean when I'm criticizing Herbert. I'm saying that he can sometimes be inaccurate. He maybe needs to work on consistency a little bit. I'm not saying he's inaccurate all the time, or even most of the time, or even half the time. He's most of the time accurate, and he will make some incredibly accurate throws down the field at times. Like on this one, it's again zone coverage. Kind of a similar concept to the first time where one receiver runs deep, the other one cuts over the middle. This time it's not as long developing, so it's going to work out better. So that's obviously a plus. Also on this time, though, there's no play action to get the linebackers to move in, so the window might not be as big. Herbert takes a snap, he looks up, and again, see this very small window. I mean, this is a mailbox type throw. Now, you can clearly see that there is a gap in between the two Denver players and also where Herbert would want to hit, but keep in mind how difficult of a throw this is to make. I mean, it looks easier from our angle because we can clearly see the difference, but from his angle, I mean, there's not too much room over those linebackers where they can't get to it, but his receiver can. There really isn't. He's going to have to time this perfectly to where when his receiver is exactly in between both of those two Denver players, and he's still going to have to throw it high enough that they can't make the play. But of course, if he throws it too high, that's how interceptions happen, where it's zone coverage. A lot of people are looking at the quarterback. So it's a really difficult throw for him to make. This is one of those mailbox type throws. However, Herbert is able to fit it in the mailbox, and they're able to get a big gain, and that's what I mean. I mean, he has a cannon of an arm, and he's able to make accurate throws down the field, and it also seems like he's aware that sometimes he will miss a throw, and he's not taking unnecessary risks. So there's a lot that I really like about Herbert. I think that the fact that he can make those types of plays, most quarterbacks in the NFL can't. Forget rookies. Most quarterbacks in general can't make those types of plays, and that's the positives of Herbert. And I think the positives absolutely outweigh the negatives, even though I do think there are some negatives. One more negative, this is the only real problem I think in Herbert's game right now, is sometimes he will look at a play that should work on paper, but in practice, it doesn't actually work out, which is understandable, and this is a very common rookie mistake. You see a lot of young players make this kind of mistake, where they're just used to lesser talent, where when you make a play on paper that should work, it almost always works out. But in the NFL, just the talent on defense is so much better, they can take away plays that should on paper work. So on this one, it's a cover 3 zone, and Herbert has a receiver who's running a route that's going to get into a gap in coverage right here. So this should work, but again, what you're noticing is that this play is very far down the field, and that's because this is a 3rd down and 12. So while it is zone coverage, they're going to be playing a lot further deep because they aren't really concerned about giving up 7 yards or whatever. They just don't want to give up the first down. And as of right now, Miami is up 6, and we've just started the 4th quarter. So this is a big possession here. If Herbert can get this first down, they have a real chance to come back and win this football game. Herbert's going to take the snap, and he looks up, and you see right here, this is clearly not a throw he should make. I mean, Miami is doing a great job of clogging up that gap that it looked like there was a gap on paper, but Miami is doing a great job of adjusting when they see an LA player get into that area, and they're going to try to break in and make a play. It ends up getting intercepted, and this was kind of the beginning of the end for the Chargers. That was really their last moment Miami would score on the drive. They got in field goal range just on that play in general, and now you're down 2 scores, and that was kind of all she wrote. So, for the Chargers, I mean, that's a tough one. You don't want to throw that interception there, but I also get why he did it. That's just kind of the mistake he has to make so that in year 2, he won't make that mistake anymore, and I think he'll be fine. I think he'll get a lot better in year 2. These are just kind of some of the growing pains, and pretty much all of the mistakes I see from Herbert are what I would consider rookie mistakes. They're not really concerning mistakes in any way. And what I see that's positive of him is so good that that's why I become a big fan of Herbert, because I like what he's able to do positives so well, and I think you can clean up the negatives, but if you don't have the positives, then what are you doing here? But Herbert clearly has the positives where if he cleans up the negatives, he could turn into that, franchise quarterback or even better. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.